me on
because they're good guys doesn't mean that I can't make fun of their stuff.
Yeah.
Hi everybody, welcome to our show. Ohio sucks and so does Joe Burrow. That's the conclusion we've come to while off the air. Now that we are off the air, I'm just telling you now, it's Joe Burrow and Ohio State. Ohio. The state of the Ohio State.
Yeah.
Whole state.
Yeah.
Sucks.
Is Bowling Green in Ohio? Is that why that whole thing went
Yes.
down just now?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even know where Bowling Green was.
So hey, here I have a hot take for you guys.
Yo, what is it?
It's which I don't know what I was expecting, but
I'm ready for this. This is built up now.
it's too much incest, dude. It's gross. Like I'm having a hard time even getting through it.
Game of Thrones?
Yeah.
Dude, incest
At least you didn't read the book, man. It's way worse.
Oh, and I know the Targaryens are dirty birds. I know it. But I'm watching the show and I'm like, I don't like that.
You want a real spoiler? They have like 4 kids together in the future, by the way. Just so you know.
And her?
Yeah, her and her cousin.
So it does happen. Yeah.
She has other kids with other people, but then she also has 4 kids with him.
Dude, that last episode that I watched, which was basically them going to the whorehouse, and do they hook up? I mean, they're about.
He can't get a boner. That's the point of it. He can't get it up, and so he gets frustrated, slams the wall, and walks away. Okay. And then she was down. That's the thing. Like you don't really necessarily pick up on that. Is that she wanted it, and so she goes and gets her rocks off somewhere else.
Okay, here's the thing. Couple things about it. First off, the episode before, we spent the entire episode watching the king to reluctantly and finally decide to not impregnate and marry a 12-year-old girl. That's the entire episode. This episode was about the uncle. I understand and know that the actress who plays this Khaleesi is, Khaleesi 2.0 or pre-Khaleesi.
Yeah.
Well, technically, Khaleesi are Dothraki, so she's just a queen.
I know that she's old enough in this. I know that this actress is old enough. They don't cast kids.
She's gone now.
Now, hold on here. In the episode prior, she's 15. It's still weird. It's a weird. She's the same actress in that next episode. And now she's supposed to be like 20, maybe.
Yeah.
She still looks 15 though. And then the uncle stuff, dude, I don't know. It's weird.
I'm glad they're doing it.
It's so good. It's so good.
I think I know why they've done it. Here's the hot take: is I think they've seen the trends on Google. That's all I'm gonna say.
The trends on Google.
See the trends on Google of what people are watching in their free time, and then we're gonna make a show about this. We're absolutely going to capitalize on this. If in the next episode. We play a drinking game with it. Next episode, weird incest thing, you go drink. If at one point in the show, one of them stumbles into like the laundry room and one of them's stuck in the washing machine, you go out in your car and do heroin.
Well, hey, the next episode, at least there's like a 10-year time jump, so it's a new actress. Yeah, so I mean...
Okay, but also, though, that's
too bad because she was the best actress in the show.
Well, and so was actually... I also saw the handmaid that gets married to her dad.
Yeah.
She also gets replaced. I'm pretty sure.
Yes, but actually by an actress who looks just fucking like her 10 years later. Like they actually nailed her replacement. Things don't go well for her either. Spoiler alert to everybody. I'm gonna spoil the show.
Do you read that book?
Yeah, I've read it a couple times now. Yeah, this is during what's called the Dance of the Dragons, which is the middle piece of the book, which is sweet because they can keep time jumping all they want and never fucking end the show. There's like 5 more generations afterwards, so it's like they could literally just like jump another 10 years, do another season, jump another 10 years, do another season. We haven't even got to the shit that goes down in Dorne, and that's the best part of the whole goddamn thing. But
which is what Rings of Power could do also.
Yes. By the way,
it was moving along in time quite a bit too.
I have had to take a pause because the lady's out of town, so I am now behind.
Okay, so no spoilers on that at all.
But I love that show.
Everyone knows to tune into Sports Program for your number one source of Game of Thrones incest porn and wholesome as hell rings of power talk.
It is so
That's
wholesome.
what Sports Program on TSPN is all about.
And
It's the sports program on TSPN with Derek, Zach, and Sean.
And then a poor guard is like, oh, well, I guess I'll take these sloppy seconds.
I like where you decided to cut back in there.
Yeah.
Also, why are you making him sound like a oaf? He's a Christian Cole's the man, bro.
Dude, the man.
Like kind of a doofus. I don't know. Just his armor is like a little too bulky. Like the armor's kind of designed weird. I think he looks like a doofus. And then like she goes in, she teases him a little bit, and he's like, "Oh, I don't think we should be doing this." By the way, if he had that voice, I would slowly stroke the entire episode because it would be the funniest. Oh, like, the lady.
Isn't his character interesting? Because you're right, he is kind of a simpleton at times. Like, he is very straight to the point, like very simple guy. But then also, like, when they're communicating one-on-one, he seems like an intelligent dude. And like they've made him they've made him two different people at times of the episode.
That said, you guys know that when I am this critical to a thing, I'm absolutely going to watch 100%.
It's so good. It's so good, man.
What is
the Game of Thrones, House of Dragons?
Yeah. It's so good.
It's boring.
It's super boring, but it's all of the stuff in the show is hilarious, and I love it.
I thought the most recent episode there was a good rat-a-tat to it, like the tempo of the dinner, the drama. I thought it was very nice.
It was very nerve-wracking the whole time. It's
like, exactly that's awesome.
There's a wedding going on. What's gonna happen?
Yeah,
tension.
And I'm glad that happened because fuck that guy. Fuck that little redhead guy.
Also, who gives away a secret they don't have to give away on Game of Thrones? He just walks over and says, "We're both fucking people we're not supposed to." Like,
let's team up.
Yeah, but hey, guess what? That dude, just because you know his secret doesn't mean he needs to know yours. Why go divulge that information to somebody when they know, like, you have the leg up on them? You know something about them. Instead, you're just going to go over and be like, "I also have a secret. Want to hear it?"
Like, I feel like he thought he could because the other two knew about him. Or something, I think
it's a bad piece of writing. It's a bad piece of writing. They had to have Cole like react somehow, and they had to like find a way to get under his skin. But he was all like, I don't know. Pick any other way. That's just such a bad piece of writing to be like, oh, he's gonna go give away a secret that he doesn't have to go give away.
Yeah.
And then Cole is gonna unload on the motherfucker. Oh, yeah. and that's probably what it said in the script. This is where he unloads on the motherfucker.
Love it. Hey everybody, welcome to Sports Program. We're the one source of House of Dragons news.
That's all we're going to talk about. I don't even know if I'm going to talk about sports. I don't feel like it. I don't feel like it. She-Hulk's also very good.
Guess what? I have actually just started that, and I agree so far. It's great.
Why aren't we talking about Andor? Why?
Because I haven't started it yet.
What the fuck, dude? It came out Wednesday.
Is it delightful?
I watched all 3 episodes right in a row. It was great.
Oh, they released 3 at once.
Yeah.
That's pretty sweet, actually.
Yeah.
I might watch it today.
It's awesome.
I don't know what college football games are on today. I know we're doing a show, but I actually don't know.
Bowling Green in Mississippi.
I gotta play kind of ignorant here, guys. I had no idea what Andor was.
Oh.
It's the exact same writers, exact same cast. It's just a prequel to Rogue One.
Yeah, It's just about Cassian. And it's really cool so far.
Cassian was which character from that?
Rogue One. He's
the main dude.
The main.
Okay, like the French guy.
Yeah.
It has very good ratings.
I've been in this since I was 6 years old.
Yeah, it's got very good ratings. It's like the second highest rated Star Wars show to ever come out, which I don't know if that's saying anything.
What's the first? The
you know what it is. It's Mandalorian.
Yeah. I'd say this is either equal.
It's not like. Oh, go ahead.
better or just as good?
I did not care for Boba Fett, but I've been told now by tons of people that I need to finish it because the last 3 episodes are apparently just Mandalorian.
So it gets good because it becomes the Mandalorian.
Right, but boy, maybe talk about that in the show a little bit because the first few episodes I'm like,
rough.
I don't care.
Yeah.
And the guy's not that great of an actor. Like I love him. He's iconic. He's Boba Fett. He's Jango Fett.
Yeah.
Yep.
But he's not good. He's not a good actor. And the first episode is him just getting bitch slapped around for a time, and then then it shows him making the club, and he does the overacting Disney style. I don't know, man. It's just. But then somebody's like, "You gotta watch it. It's freaking."
Yeah, I don't think it gets good till episode 5 or 4.
It takes too long, and that's kind of a bummer. But also, I feel like you need, if you're going to continue the other shows, you need that information. That's what I kind of like about some of this other stuff is that they're one-offs, and you don't need to watch Andor, right? You don't need to. No, you can just watch it if you want to. Yeah, I would prefer that if they're going to keep doing more and more shows. I don't need to watch 3 other shows to know what's going on in the show I do want to watch. That's the hard part for me.
You're wicked, baby.
I love it.
So I was just looking. There actually are a few college football games that I do have marked of interest. WSU, especially after beating Wisconsin, playing Oregon in Washington State should be a good game. Also, number 20 to Florida versus number 11 undefeated Tennessee, who I think is a bunch of dogs. That's going to be a good game. I will watch both those games and no other college football today. But I will watch those games. You guys are doing something? You guys have plans?
We're going to go lunch. We're going to go to Roosters and have a good time.
Some lunch.
Is it just I want you guys to know bringing your ladies.
The ladies. It was actually the ladies' ideas. Me and Derek don't.
I'm going to see if
I love Derek, but Derek and I, we don't connect. The way
you guys don't hang out, just the two of you.
No, it's usually
connect better.
It's usually Bridget and Bree will be like, "Let's make plans," and then.
Are you guys bad at that with all your friends or just each other?
Oh, dude, I don't. I hang out with Jesse Economin the most, and
probably because he hits you up, huh?
Yeah, and usually he's just gonna go to Rookies, and it's by my house. So I'm like, oh yeah, I'll go.
He's your convenient friend. Everyone has their convenient friend. Not my top choice, but
guys. More than I talk to really anybody.
Yeah. I mean, Olinger is I think he works a swing shift, so he works till late at night, and then I don't know what he does on the weekends.
It's not to Sean specifically. I do not hang out with literally anybody. But also I've been very busy. So, and I'm getting less busy.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you were mowing lawns and
dumb.
Summer school for three was summer school 3 weeks?
3 weeks, yeah.
I was just gonna say I almost feel awkward hitting people up because of how little I hit them up. They're like, "What's going on?"
Yeah. You need something?
Do you need something, or is something wrong?
Usually if I hit someone up, they go, "Have you been drinking, Sean?"
That's what I would do if you hit.
And I go, "That's not the point, dude. Do you want to hang out or not?"
Yes, but let's move past it.
Anytime I've heard from Josh Childers over the last 10 years has been when he's been hammered drunk.
Yeah, but those are always the best.
Oh, I don't, and I welcome it. Josh Childers, if you watch this right now, I welcome it. He's like, I love you. He'll just be like, I love you, man. It's that's it.
But if you get a hold of me sober, I'm not interested. Let's lay that out there also. Do not call me sober.
You can do it.
Let's talk about this guy's wide receiver lineup. His wide receivers are dangerous.
Oh, someone came in on the chat?
Oh, we can get started there, Gits. We can get started. 15 minutes into the show. You guys, my Pickems sucks. Long and hard. I'm 15 and 16. Ugh.
Everyone's teetering 500 right now. And actually, that's what I want to talk about to start the show. That's what I had originally noted to start the show with. Let's not jump into this week yet. Let's talk about the clusterfuck that was last week. The Jets comeback on the Browns is one of the biggest surprises I've already in the young season, I believe. Because we've already seen as of this week, the Browns are a good team. Jacoby Brissett is a good game manager, and they can run the ball against anybody. And they look like they had that game won. And the Jets just said, old man Flacco said, no. And also Garrett Wilson, right?
We're playing Flacco for the rest of the season.
I mean, Flacco's probably only got one more game. This is probably the last week or second last week we'll see him. But
playing him against the Bengals doesn't seem like a bad idea.
Can he do it twice? Like, that's my real question going into this week. Like, can Flacco not be Joe Flacco for 2 weeks in a row?
I'm also going to make the call that I think we see Joe Flacco more this season.
Yeah?
I mean, Zach Wilson's coming back, right? But he's still – I mean, he got hurt in the first place. So, I mean –
yeah, well, I think maybe the recovery isn't as fast as they're saying it is. It's the same with like Dak. Like, they were originally like, guess what? We were wrong originally. He's probably only gone like 4 or 5 weeks. It's like, no, he's not. He's still gone like 8 to 10 weeks. But
they're saying TJ Watt will be back this year. I'm like, no, he's not going to be back.
Yeah, well, that's
going to be true because he did not tear the part of his pectoral that like Cody Rhodes did. It is not.
Because thank you for speaking in terms of which that I understand, because that's literally what I'm comparing it to is Cody Rhodes Triple H. So it's not that.
Not the same thing that he tore. And so he probably will be back. And I was thinking about this during the game, and I'm going to completely derail where I was about to go with the Jets-Browns conversation. Who gives a fuck? Move on.
Great game. It was a great game.
I was so the Browns completely avoided Minkah Fitzpatrick this week. Like, that was clearly the game plan. Just avoid that motherfucker, and we'll beat them in other areas. And I was thinking, like, man, they have Minkah Fitzpatrick and Watt on the same team. Like, they have probably the two best players at their individual positions on the same defense. So if they are healthy, it doesn't matter if they have like the worst starting quarterback in the NFL, like Mitchell Trubisky. It does not matter because they have the fucking best defense that they can trot out every goddamn week. Like week 1, when they beat the Bengals, it was just because their defense was so good.
Right, and if Watt would have been healthy and playing this Thursday, I think they would have beat the Browns also.
Yeah, Jacoby Brissett was a little too comfortable.
Yeah,
and someone needed to get after his ass. So I agree with you.
But man, Mitch has got to go. Man, I want him to do good. I do. I really was rooting for him, but I'm ready for a Kenny Pickett now. Let's just go. Let's just move out. Let's just move on and let's see what he's got.
By back-to-back weeks, because last week, if we're talking about last week's games, last week they lost to the Patriots at home. I mean, they're playing in Pittsburgh, and from what we know so far, the Patriots aren't a great team.
Pick a time. I agree.
It is pick a time. The Pickems catch, though.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah. That was wild.
I don't know if you guys were listening full audio on the broadcast, but Al Michaels also was the same guy who called the Odell catch, and they super reacted to that one. I thought this catch was just as good, and it was almost like they had to get told to react. Like, it happened, and him and Kirk were just like, oh, a great catch. And that was pretty much it. And then a minute later someone's clearly in their ear, that was one of the best catches that has ever happened. You guys should probably react more. And then they finally got into it. And then by halftime, they're comparing it to the Odell catch.
I think when you see it live and from the angle that they had, you're like, okay, that was a great catch. But then once you get it from that other side.
Yeah.
And then did you see the still from the back? Oh my God. Yeah. It's crazy. I just think when you see it live, it didn't look as crazy.
If we can get Pickens a good quarterback, this could be a really good team.
Dude, okay.
I think it's good too. I really do think Kenny Pickett's good. I think
they're all good. Claypool's good. I mean, the entire receiving core is really awesome. Deontay. So here's the thing. Deontay dropped another big catch, and I feel like this happened multiple times last year. Trubisky actually threw a really nice deep ball to him early in the game, and he dropped it.
Okay, yeah.
And I feel like Trubisky did try to take more shots downfield in this game than he has in the two previous. So the knock on him was not being aggressive, not taking shots downfield. He did. They just, except for one amazing catch by Pickens, the other two were dropped. So he tried. That being said, they should still probably move on from him, even with him making more efforts, because I feel like Kenny Pickett is going to sling the ball around the yard.
I feel like those fans are going to start a mutiny pretty soon here, man. Like it.
Yes.
I don't know if that would have been a home game and they were playing like that. Still, I just think.
As a Najee fan, and a Najee fantasy football owner, God, I need a quarterback that can open the offense up a little bit, because it's like very obvious they just need to shut the run down when any defense is playing them. So for my fantasy sake, let's get a quarterback in there. But the season is not lost for those guys. They're 1-2. Bengals still haven't won a game. Ravens lose this week. They're 1-2. Like, it's wide open.
I've not won a game in our league. I've now lost twice. I'm playing Jeff this week.
You might have that one, maybe. I haven't seen what his team looks like.
Oh boy. I'm starting Kirk Cousins. I'm going to handcuff Tom Brady for the rest of the season, but I'm not trading him or getting rid of him. Even if he's scoring 45 points, he'll be sitting on my bench, and you all can go F yourselves. I'm not changing that.
Do not.
Yeah,
I wouldn't tell you to play him. I was looking at the waiver, and I was eyeballing Jared Goff, because, he's slinging the ball around the yard. I think he's like a hot pickup, but if anyone's wondering, contextually, we're in a capped league, so running backs and receivers are capped at 5. So you have to carry a second quarterback, because otherwise you can't even fill your roster. So you carry 2 quarterbacks.
I have 3 tight ends.
You carry 3 tight ends. You carry 2 quarterbacks, and you probably carry 2 defenses.
Yeah, I mean, I'm carrying Goddard, Knox, and then I picked up Conklin. I dropped Hunter Henry.
I have no problem with that. I don't know what the Patriots are doing on offense. The Patriots are one of the weirdest teams, because they will probably win games like they did in Pittsburgh last week. But I don't think we thought both their receivers, Aguilar and Jacoby, were going to go off.
I picked up Aguilar. I actually have Parker too. I just have them in case,
Right, but have we even seen Parker this year yet? Like last week, it was like Myers and Aguilar, and they both had big touchdown catches.
I just know he's a good receiver, and who knows?
Right, so you're just willing to kind of stash him for now.
It's a 12-man league too, I think. So it's like,
when you have no cap on receivers or running backs on your team, you can stash players. But when you have a 5 receiver cap, every receiver has to be good. That's kind of how it goes in our league.
Yeah, it's in high count. It's in high council that I have Parker and Aguilar just chilling.
No, it's not high council. It's the other one we're in. My entire bench is just like flyers. Like, I'm taking a risk on every person. I drafted like 6 rookies, which, by the way, Dotson and Garrett Wilson both have been panning out, because they've just been both catching touchdowns. But I don't know what to do there. I have no idea who to play.
I lost all 6 fantasies last week, boys. And this week, the second week last year, I won all 6. So that's kind of crazy. That's kind of
being in 6 leagues is kind of setting yourself up for that type of heartbreak.
Well, yeah. I just, all last season I was either, I would usually go 3-3.
Let's circle back to last week's games real quick, though.
Yeah,
because here's the deal. I actually got to watch all 3 rounds of games on Sunday, which is pretty rare for me. And my pick'em was obviously just as terrible as everyone else's was. I got a few I took a few shots in the dark, right? So I took the Patriots against the Steelers. I feel like I got lucky there. I switched my pick from taking the Giants to taking the Panthers, which was a huge mistake. But that being said, Lions won, Jets won, Giants won, Jaguars won against the Colts 24-0. Is there a particular game where you were like, just what the fuck just happened?
Well, for me, it was that Jaguars game, which I'm really mad at myself about. I didn't have a great first week. So the second week, I'm like, all right, I got to try to win some of this. I'm going to take the Colts, even though the Jaguars are the unofficial team of the
2 weeks in a row not taking them.
So I'm like, all right, I'm going to take the Colts because they're going to win this game. Obviously, it's the Jaguars. Whoops.
Yeah.
I take a sports program.
I actually, I did the same thing.
I absolutely did take the Eagles. I've been high on the Eagles this season. I absolutely did take them over the Vikings, though, and absolutely was correct on that.
That was a great pick.
That's
a great pick because I fell into that week 1 Vikings hype, which I don't feel like was earned at all. If you think about just the Packers don't really give a shit week 1.
Right.
I don't know. I fell into that. I don't really think I fell into any other hype traps. It's just there were some crazy comebacks, right? Like Cardinals coming back on the Raiders, and then the Dolphins come back on the Ravens. I took the Ravens, and I think the Ravens, even now after the game's over, I think the Ravens are the better team. But that comeback was incredible.
Did the Dolphins win that?
Yeah, it's 42-38 or something like that.
It was insane. And you know what's not fun? I played a guy in fantasy that had Lamar Jackson and Tyreek Hill.
Wow. I had Lamar and Waddle.
It's in the NFL app. It's a PPR. The guy ended up putting up 214 fantasy points on me.
Jesus.
And I didn't have a bad week. I went 158. I had like a good week.
Yeah, 158 is you win most weeks at 158.
Yeah. I had Waddle. I had Amari Cooper. I had Josh Allen. I had a good fucking week, and
you should get a third.
Is Jared Goff on your waiver? Because
dude,
I'm actually trying Carson Wentz out this week.
I've toted out Carson Wentz back-to-back weeks, and they have been. I've won that league both times. So
Wentz.
Yeah, I'm 2 for 2 with Wentz.
I like Wentz in Washington too.
He's got between Samuel, Dotson, and McLaurin, he has an absolute, and Logan Thomas at tight end. He has an absolutely stacked receiving core. They're going to keep doing what they're doing right now, by the way. They're going to keep falling behind early in games, and then Carson Wentz is just going to
have to do it.
Hero ball them back into it. But he's also the reason they're falling behind in these games. And as a fantasy owner, that's why you have to love him, because he is going to give you garbage time every week. I love it, man. I have all 3 Washington receivers. I have Carson Wentz. I am going to eat this shit up all year. Which is also why you don't draft a quarterback early, by the way, for people that drafted Herbert or Josh Allen or anybody else in the earlier rounds. You didn't need to. You can literally get people like Carson Wentz off of waivers and then just have a stat. I got Waddle as my 3rd receiver because I was like, let's just get receivers. Let's just eat. And it's worked out pretty well.
The Herbert thing's scary.
I think he's back this week. It's just
I know. It's just does he get hurt? Does he get a good tackle on him, and does he get hurt? Does it?
What was he?
His ribs fractured.
Yeah,
it's the cartilage, right?
So he's going to be in one of those flak jackets or whatever they're called, to protect it. And he's going to obviously, man, that laboring play where he goes to run for the first down and he just gives up on it was insane.
It was the saddest thing that I've ever seen my favorite quarterback do.
And then the very next thing he does is throw that beautiful deep ball. Oh, he's done. He's out.
Who was it? It was to I don't know.
The deep ball was to Mike Williams, and then he threw a touchdown to Parker right after that. But the deep ball was right on the right where it needed to be. Mm-hmm. He's insane. He is such a good passer. It's incredible. I love Justin Herbert. But
best quarterback in the league.
Did they win that or did they lose that game?
They lost it.
They lost by quite a touchdown. It was quite a bit.
I think they lost by 3 points actually, because he scored that late touchdown to make it look close, but it really wasn't close. It was 27-24.
Yeah.
The only available QBs are Davis. Just play Tom Brady, honestly.
Yeah.
I wouldn't play Baker Mayfield. I watched both Panthers games this year, and I also was a dumbass and picked the Panthers in both of those games because I actually had faith in the team. Their defense is fast.
I did the exact same thing.
Their defense is fast. Their defense is incredible. He is a crutch on whatever team he's on. He is the worst. He's worse than Trubisky. He's the worst starting quarterback in the NFL. the single worst. And I don't understand how he's gotten this many opportunities because he's not the worst starting quarterback in the NFL. He is the worst starting at any position in the NFL. He is the biggest liability in the NFL. He is so bad. Outside of one pass that he threw in week 1, that deep bomb to Robbie, outside of that play, his stats would be like 200 yards on the year with no touchdowns. Like, the dude fucking sucks.
He's not good. It's
Jacoby Brissett is better.
Yeah.
And he's a backup quarterback.
Yeah. And that's when are they going to switch to Sam Darnold,
Sam Darnold's hurt. And they're probably he's on IR. He is not the number 2 right there right now.
I did not know that.
Yeah, and honestly, if he was healthy, he's not the number 2. He's not.
Yeah,
he's not. They're going to go with PJ Walker, or they're going to go with PJ Walker. They're going to go with PJ Walker, or the rookie.
I forgot that PJ Walker was on that team. He's good.
Yeah, I think
they'd actually probably do better.
I think they were like, let's just stick him on IR and call it. Like, he's bad. He's kind of hurt. Let's stick him on IR and free up the roster spot. Let's get fucking rid of this guy too. They're both bad, man. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But I don't think Sam Darnold's Baker Mayfield bad. It's incredible how bad that dude is.
I think he's just lost any type of confidence that he had.
No, that's what makes him even worse, is that he goes out there with fucking swagger, and then he's just like, I'm going to roll out here and make something happen. And then he just throws a fucking dud. It just goes into the dirt. Unsolicited, and then he just struts back into the pocket and calls another play. It's insane, dude. I don't know how you liked that guy because he's a liability to things that you love and care about.
When he does good things, finally he super overreacts and over.
Yes.
It's like, dude, you are behind by 15 points. Like, why are you celebrating so hard? Go do the next play.
Baker. We're losing this game. By not a little. And we're losing this game, and also the other team's bad. Like, we're losing, and spoiler alert, the other team has Daniel Jones, and we're losing this game. Who I root for, by the way. I think Daniel Jones is better than Baker Mayfield, and that says everything that needs to be said.
Daniel Jones is better than him, at least this year. And Baker Mayfield was critical about Danny Dimes.
Was he?
Yeah, when the Giants drafted him, remember that? And
yeah, you're right.
Baker Mayfield made some offhanded comments, and it was like, dude, you're the number 1 worst pick. Man, the Browns.
But what I'm saying is I fell into it too. I actually believed, and maybe this is why I'm overreacting, because I believed that Baker just needed a change of scenery. I believed that with DJ Moore and Robbie Anderson and Christian McCaffrey and that defense, I thought he could win them games. And
storyline wise, I thought the Browns did him dirty, and I wanted to see him go into Carolina and do better. The Browns bring in who they brought in with the money, and just all of that. I was like, man, okay, yeah, like fuck the Browns. Let's go Baker. See what you can do. No.
Yeah, especially with them playing them week 1. Like, go out there, rub your sloppy dong across their face and get out of there. But he couldn't do it. And I picked them both times. I picked the Panthers to beat the Browns, and then I picked them last week to beat the Giants because it seemed like a layup. And he's broken my heart. And I should have never. It's like when you date the bad boy and he's a bad boy, and everyone tells you don't do it. Everyone says don't do it. He's gonna bang your friends. He's gonna hit on your mom. He's gonna do all this stuff. And you're like, no, he's different this year. He's changed. I can change him. And it's back-to-back weeks of him just being a rascal.
Being a rascal. We're getting so many fantasy questions in now.
Yeah, sorry guys, I'm going on tangents. I love it.
But I'd love it too. I love it so much. But I keep seeing these questions pop in, and I'm like, man, we're gonna have to start it now. The Steelers lost. Oh man, that's all right. I'd say put Pickett in now. See what he has this season. Let's just go with it.
Sean, who did you have for that game?
Remember, I told you I switched to the Browns.
That's right. You're right. Okay. Me too.
For the best. Oh man, was rough.
It's for me. It was strictly the TJ Watt thing. I just don't think they're getting pressure on the quarterback anymore. I knew it would be close. I think the score makes it look like it wasn't a close game, but I feel like it was a close game.
Close the whole game though, until
it was close until it wasn't, as they say.
Mitch can't. He just can't convert, man. I don't know. And then TJ Watt. I mean, if they could have had Baker Mayfield in there as long as TJ Watt's still playing.
Let's check out this next one. Someone did say Davis Mills. Don't take Davis Mills. Just play whoever you already have. I went 0 running back in the draft. I got Diggs, AJ Brown, Jefferson. Can you highlight that one, Pitts? Pick an RB. Flex out Bateman. Dude, that's why you do 0 running back. If there was ever a year to do 0 running back strategy, it's this goddamn year. Because if you think about who the 3 top guys were before the year started, they've all been. I mean, Jonathan Taylor had a monster week 1, but he's scaring me moving forward. Christian McCaffrey, even if he's healthy, has not put up the numbers I would like. 0 running back this year is smart. That being said, what is he saying? Edmonds, ETN, Gibson. All the way, dude. Gibson's been a stud this year. He's going to get enough receptions to play him every week. If you're in a PPR league, you play Gibson every week, and I don't question that call. I play him and move on with my life. Dude's a stud. I don't play ETN unless you want to play ETN and change your team name to ETN that ass. Then play ETN just for that, but you're gonna lose. So, but great team name though.
Very nice.
Is that a good response? Gibson all the way.
Yeah, it's a really good response.
Sean, you got Gibson in a couple leagues, right?
No, I snagged up McKissick.
Okay. See, I think Gibson's like we were all ready to move on to that Alabama rookie, and then he got shot, and it was like, oh wait, Gibson's actually a very good running back, like a top 10.
Yeah.
And probably a top 5 fantasy running back this year. So this game, do you guys both got the Bears?
Yeah, I did. I picked the Bears.
I have the Texans picked.
I have the Texans as well. I love the Texans defense this year, and I think both of their losses kind of like screamed this team's going to win some games to me. Like they were close. Their defense looked good, even in Denver. I don't think Denver necessarily should have won that game. And I don't think the Bears are good. The Bears are always the Bears. No,
yeah.
Derek, you ride with it because someone's got to pick the Bears at home.
I'm going to stick with the Bears.
I think I think it's going to be. I'm going with Houston because I think it's finally their time to get a W. That's why. Not that I think the Bears are bad, but I don't know. That's hard for me. I'm just mad about week 1, I guess. I think the Bears should be 0-2, but whatever.
Yeah, I mean that was a sloppy game in week 1.
Yeah.
You're allowed to feel
emotions
about that. Yeah, you're entitled to those feelings. I would have hated every minute of that.
What I hated was there's literally like 3 or 4 inches of water on the field, and people are like, "What's wrong with Trey Lance? What's going on with Trey Lance? Are you fucking kidding me? There's 3 inches of water on the field. No one can do shit. What's with every fucking player on every team?" Then?
Is Trey hurt then? He's hurt now?
Oh, he's out for the season. He broke his ankle.
Yeah, he's out for the entire year.
Was it pretty bad?
It didn't look that bad, and then like you see it from another angle, and you can see it just like
it's heartbreaking for his development because like everyone's on such a short leash in the NFL, and this was a year where you had to put up with his growing pains, in my opinion. Like even if he's playing bad or playing mediocre, and you could win more games to Jimmy G, you have to play him because you have to let him progress. You have to see what he can do. And now Jimmy G's going to come in and win 10, 11 games. And then what do you do next year?
I mean, you celebrate winning a Super Bowl.
That's true. You celebrate the Super Bowl, but you can't revert to, let's do another growing pains year. Like after that, I don't think. And I just think it was a really important year for his career. Someone ended up actually bringing that up. What's you guys' take on Antonio Gibson? I drafted Brian Robinson, was shot. I took Antonio Gibson in the 7th. Yes. I don't know what Brian Robinson's deal is as far as like when he can come back from being shot. It didn't sound like it was one of those things where it's going to like ruin his career or anything. That being said, Antonio Gibson, I think, is just like such a good like safety blanket for Carson Wentz to have. I think that he's going to keep playing even after Brian Robinson does come back. I think Antonio Gibson, especially getting him in the 7th, once again, back to the 0 running back strategy. If you can get starting running backs that late, awesome. And who knows? I mean, if you need to handcuff Robinson to him, no one else is going to pick him up. Do a shot. So just pick both.
I went with that tactic in a league, and I ended up getting Jamar because I was last pick. I got Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson back to back.
You got both of them?
Yeah.
That's insane. And that's why you do it, though.
And I got Scary Terry like a round later.
This year's drafts were weird. I got Eckler in the 8th. What?
That's not true. That can't be true.
I mean, it could be true. If you think about Eckler's playing like a goddamn 8th round pick right now. He's pissing me off a little bit because I had to draft him in the 1st. He
looks good. He looks good. He just hasn't gotten the end zone, right?
I don't think what the Eckler?
What the Eckler?
Oh, the next one's a good one.
Oh, that is a good game.
Yeah. Okay, so I took the Titans on this one because I think I see where everybody's going with it, but I just think at home, it's still the Titans. Like they're still. I mean, just because they've lost 2 games, it's still the Titans. I do think we're going to see Malik Willis, though.
I think it'll be similar to last week, unless it's like a blowout. Probably not.
Not in this game. I just mean in this season.
I agree. I think we see him this year too.
Yeah.
This is hard. This is a must-win for both teams, in my opinion. You can't start 0-3, especially like both these teams had pretty high hopes before the year starts, in my opinion.
Yeah,
I took the Titans at home. It was like the home game coin flip for me. These are pretty even teams. I think the Raiders have the much better offense, but I like the Titans defense more. So I went with the home defense, basically.
Okay. Yeah.
I guess so. I picked Houston in the last game, right? Because I think it's just their time to get a win. And
yeah,
I guess that's kind of how I feel for both these teams.
Right.
Is like
exactly.
I picked the Raiders, but I think it could go either way, obviously.
No, I don't think I don't think anybody's crazy to take the Raiders on this. Oh, that's
well, David's got a good point, and like I think if Derek Carr has time to sit back there and find his weapons, that's scary. Like I don't know. I could be wrong. David's definitely watched more Raiders football than I have this year, but it seems like Hunter Renfrow is still a little MIA, so he's going to have himself a day eventually.
And he's got a concussion, so I think he's out.
Oh, really?
Week. Yeah.
Okay. So he's not going to have himself a day, but eventually he's going to have himself a day. Like I feel like I haven't gotten anything out of him so far this year.
Yeah.
I thought they had last week won, man. I feel like last week was a pretty demoralizing loss. Like the Titans probably don't have the same type of like sour taste in their mouth because they lost to the Bills, who everyone's going to lose to. So
yeah, dude, the Bills are. We'll talk about it.
Also, we'll talk about this. This is also I also feel the same way about this.
Yeah, I think that game is going to be nuts.
I don't know how the Lions became this like fantasy shootout team, but they are every week, and that's why people need to go get Jared Goff.
Well, they kind of were getting that way at the end of the last season, though, too.
Agreed.
Just St. Brown, St. Brown went off at the last 7 weeks. So
the Lions are like they said, like it's just fantasy. It's just fantasy heaven.
Yeah.
I agree. I want Malik Willis to play. A lot of us want Malik Willis to play. Dude's exciting. I don't know if he's ready to play, but he'll probably make up for that with his legs, and that's all that really.
I think he's just as ready as Ryan Tannehill is to play.
He is just as ready as Ryan Tannehill is for sure.
That's a good point, man. That's pretty good.
Also, this is one of those games where I know we say it every year where there's like a game. Oh, I don't say it every year. We say it every week. There's like a game that you could impulse wake up and change your pick. And this is like one of those games until it starts. I don't really know.
And it also depends. Like, am I still drunk from the night before? Do I go through? Do I check?
Drunk me takes the Raiders.
Oh, do I go? Derrick Henry's gonna eat. Derrick Henry's gonna get it done. I don't know.
If I get buzzed tonight, which I'm already 2 Coors Lights deep at 10:55, if I get a little buzzed tonight, I'm taking the Raiders.
Drunk Derrick goes, "Just win, baby," and takes the because I'm a moron.
Okay, I don't know who Jaden is, but he's my new favorite person. We had someone in the chat like Jaden last year who always had something to say, and I liked it.
Yeah,
Jaden is that new person.
Wasn't it LeBron something last year?
It was like LeBron something. Glad you remembered. You're totally right. That's who it was.
It was LeBron something.
And he had questions for every sport too. So like he could keep the show going year round, even though we can't.
Jaden is all elite Ash, is what I would say.
All elite Ash. Yeah, it's just it's another week, so we got to make another person all elite. So
all elite. I'm gonna go to the next game. It's a good one. Well, it could.
It should be. It should have been. Last season, it would have been.
Okay, it's not going to be a good one though because I am 100%. Well,
you can do whatever you want.
I feel like that gets played. The most when we're talking about the Chiefs for some reason.
I think I'm going to make a bold claim here. I think the Chiefs could very well go nearly undefeated this season.
Yeah, I don't see them losing this game.
They are who we thought they should have been last year. I honestly think this is the Chiefs team, I think.
Guys, what were our preseason? I know what mine was. I'll lead into it, but what were you guys' preseason AFC teams for the Super Bowl?
Oh man, did I say Bills?
One was the Bills. I think one was the Chargers.
I said
Derek's was the Chargers.
I think
I had the Chiefs beating the Rams.
Yeah. I could see
now it's going to be Chiefs Niners again, and that's going to be insane.
I now also will lean into a little Chiefs Niners action.
I don't know though.
Haven't we seen that before, Sean?
Yeah, I think so, and I think it will go better this time.
It went pretty well the first time, if you think about it.
It did. I mean, honestly,
co-host of this show, you might be able to start Juju and MVS, and they get points. Absolutely, I had Juju all last season, and nope.
I actually just cut Juju.
You did,
which is crazy because he was my second or third receiver drafted.
Was that sports show? That was sports show.
It was on ours. There's no money involved, and it's also a 5 receiver cap, so it really leads me to not give a shit. But Curtis Samuel was on the waiver, and nobody took him. So
I kept looking at him. I did. I kept looking at him.
I'm taking that every day. If you had to say gun to my head, you picked the wrong guy, I'm pulling the trigger. Who you taking this week? I take Curtis Samuel every week.
I think my problem was I already had like Ayuk, Jamar Chase, and Keenan Allen. I ended up snagging that Duvernay guy though. Duvernay.
You really butchered that. Do you want a couple more attempts? You talked about Duvernay.
Duvernay. Is he French?
No.
Yeah, Devin Duvernay. I snagged him
from the Ravens.
Yeah. I think I might play him.
Actually. He's one of those dudes who finds the end zone a lot. But the problem with Duvernay and Bateman is that
I might have just been a little stinker.
If Jackson's not dropping bombs to him, who knows? So touchdown dependent. Why? What'd you do?
Nothing.
He went and picked up Juju.
I did. I 100% did. I'm so fast.
Dude, go get him. Have yourself a day, man. Play him. Actually, don't just pick him up. Play him.
Yeah.
gonna play him. I had to draw. I had Spiller still.
Oh God.
He projected at 0 points. I had to drop him.
Yeah, so apparently the Chargers actually hate him. Like, I don't mean to be gossipy, but I've heard that they hate him, like as a human. So he will not be getting any run this year. Yeah.
CJ Spiller?
No, the rookie from Texas A&M.
Okay.
They drafted him to be the number 2 guy, and they immediately went and got Sony Michel. So I think that says everything that you need to know. And also Kelly's better than any of their other backups from UCLA. But
oh man, I'm so starting Juju this week. When I just have to wait till noon.
If you got him, baby. No, we all have the Chiefs. We can move on from this game.
Yeah, unfortunately.
As soon as you talked about dropping him, I was like, oh.
Jade and I dropped Melvin, by the way. I wouldn't
also hate
drop Stevenson, just in case. Also hate Eckler.
What? I don't hate Eckler, man. He's going to turn it around.
I took
me out.
In this next game, I took the Bills, but honestly, I could see myself doing something stupid and waking up and taking the Dolphins before this game.
You can't do that.
I don't think you should.
To me, there's certain teams. There are certain teams. Every year we go on the show and we say, "I'm not going to pick against this team." Right?
This is the team.
This is that team. You pick them every week, no matter who they're playing, whether it's home or away. You pick them every week. You set it and forget it, because they're more than likely going to win that game unless something crazy happens. So
it's just here's where I'm stupid. It's that if I did make the change and the Dolphins somehow were crazy like they were last week and they're at home, I'd be the only one that took the Dolphins, other than Adam Olinger.
Yeah, sure, but
I think who knows? Actually, Adam might not even pick the Dolphins.
Yeah, I would assume he actually took the Bills. The Bills are 2002 Shaquille O'Neal, and every other team is whoever had to guard 2002 Shaquille O'Neal.
Okay, yeah, okay. All right.
Now, when you put it in that,
perfect. I'm sticking with the Bills.
Listen.
Forget it. Lock it.
Glad I could help.
Yeah.
When the Dolphins have a chance. In case of the Rams shoot slasher outscore. I mean, maybe if it's a shootout and whoever has the ball last, right?
Yeah.
The problem is the Bills' defense is just as good as the Bills' offense.
It's not going to be a shootout.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good defense.
Josh Allen's the boy, dude. And Diggs. Who? What's his new thing? I'm him. What does he say? I'm him.
That is what he said.
Yeah, I'm him.
We all took the Bills in this. I am 100% assuming.
100%. Lock it.
Okay.
This is where it gets interesting, though.
Next one I don't think is a gimme.
This is where it gets interesting.
Okay. I'm telling you that I'm probably going to change this already.
Okay.
And I might be. I don't know.
I already have the Lions.
I have the Vikings, but part of me wants to choose the Lions because I like the Lions. I want the Lions to do better.
I agree with you. I don't know. I picked the Vikings, and I don't know now. I don't know.
Listen, look. I took the Eagles last week against the Vikings, and I feel very good about that.
That was due to your faith in the Eagles, not your belief that the Vikings are bad.
In the Lions, I have the want for the Lions on this one, but I just don't know if I have it. I'm going to stick with the Vikings for now on this.
The Vikings are having a rough time getting those top key players going.
Yeah, it's at home.
And Jefferson.
It's a tough one.
Yeah.
I have the Lions. I think the Lions are going to put up like 30 goddamn points every week, and maybe so are the Vikings, but
yeah, I mean, does Justin Jefferson get it going this game? And it's just
I'm not going to lie, I might if I usually choose one game a week where I do switch, and this would probably be the real.
That's hard to say, Sean, because the Packers just kept leaving Justin Jefferson open like he wasn't the best player on the field. And
exactly.
All teams had to do was adjust to that. Stop doing that.
Yeah, it was really frustrating to watch, actually, because I have him and I needed him to go off, and it just didn't.
I just feel like I'm a Detroit believer this year. There's not really a lot of like method to the madness there. It's just
Would you say that you are to Detroit as I am to the Eagles right now?
No, I think I am equally a believer to the Eagles that you are, as in like the Eagles can have themselves a NFC winning type of team. I don't think the Lions are making their way to a Super Bowl, where I think the Eagles are right up there with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Rams as far as like teams that
that's
have a very great chance of making the Super Bowl. If anything, you've just converted me to being a Philadelphia Eagles believer as well.
You're a believer.
I'm a believer.
After that new Wonder Years album dropped, dude, I'm an Eagles believer.
Oh yeah. We're trying to what is some Nick Foles reference?
Yeah.
Insert Nick Foles reference.
Yeah.
Very nice. All right. Man, yeah. This could be game of the week.
I think so.
Yeah, this is gonna be.
You know what won't be game of the week? The next one.
Yeah.
No.
Just Ravens.
I'm Ravens.
Ravens, but I don't have a ton of faith in it. Is Lamar Jackson starting this?
Yeah.
He's okay.
He's fine.
I think the whole Ravens squad is good besides like still running back.
Then I'm taking the Ravens on the road.
It's a soup. Their team is so dirty to me, man. I think it's so like underrated. I think they're probably the most slept on team. I know the Miami Dolphins came back last week. Like I said, I still think they're the better team. I don't know. I think they are a division winner. I was a little too keen on Pittsburgh before the year started. And now I'm kind of pivoting to the Ravens bandwagon the rest of the year.
I'm going to tell you, between those other three teams, I would prefer the Ravens over the Bengals and the Browns, and I'll say that every time. Absolutely, fuck the Bengals and Browns to hell. The Ravens.
Yeah, they're both from the worst state in America. So
worst state of any of the states, Ohio.
I don't know if that's true. True.
It's definitely not the worst state in America. Arkansas exists.
Yeah. Florida exists. Florida exists.
No, dude. If you think Florida's bad, just go to Arkansas. Like, not even like for a week. Spend a day.
Arkansas is so off my radar. I don't even know where it's at.
It's near Alabama.
Yeah, or go to Alabama. But actually, there's some gems in that state. The overall state sucks, but there's some gems there.
Yeah, that's true. All right,
there's some gems there. We're gonna find out that one of our like hardcore listeners is from Arkansas, and they just fucking hate us now.
Did you guys both take the Ravens then?
I did.
Yes. Jaden said Mississippi. Jaden, does that mean you're from Mississippi or Mississippi's terrible?
Let's go. Yes.
We don't like what Brett Favre did to us. We do not like what Brett Favre did to us.
The next game,
which, by the way, what a terrible person. By the way, I Brett Favre, the player, dog, the man. But
yeah,
terrible. Okay, so are you okay with? Okay, better question, Jane. Are you okay with Brett Favre did to the state of Mississippi?
That's a good question. That's a tough question.
Terrible. Why?
I'm okay. I'm okay with it that it happened to Mississippi. Just not what it was, you know. But Jaden says, like, well, no, it's like the thing was bad, but also the state is too. So
no. Brett Favre, like copper fit for life, but
that was cool. That's good stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
I took the Bengals in this game. I mean, it's because it's the Jets, though. I mean, I just have an anti-Jets bias. It's not because I even dislike the Jets. It's the Jets. Now, that said, if the Jets won this game, I'm 100% okay with it. Let's keep the Bengals winless 2022.
Like, the devil on my shoulder says take the Jets, right? Like, I would love the Bengals start 0-3 because they are from Ohio. But
I like that. every episode there's like a theme, and this theme of this episode is fuck Ohio.
Makes the show good.
I try to cut at least one promo a week, and it just so happens I decided to cut a promo on an entire state. I'm still waiting to cut a promo on a couple of those sports boys from up north, but I'm saving it for when I know for sure they're watching.
I'm making the switch. That way one of us takes the Jets at least.
Well, you could switch back. I took the Jets.
Well, you took the Jets. I'm not switching back. I'm not switching back to the Bengals. In fact, I hereby declareth on this show that I do not think I'll take the Bengals for any remainder games of this season.
Now, okay, so you're taking the Jets. I'm going to switch.
I feel really comfortable with you guys taking the Jets. I am for sure taking the Bengals. I think they are better at like every position that exists on the football field. So, I think especially this is Joe Flacco versus Joe Burrow.
So we also need to remember that a lot of the time I do my pick'em Sunday night after drinking all day.
Right, you do it the week before.
I do it right
off of pure impulse of what you just saw.
Yeah, I do it literally during the Sunday night game usually.
I've lost so many games. Here's the thing, you guys. We're in our third pick'em now. We're in our third now for this season. Mm-hmm. I'm so far behind at this point that
I don't think you are. Everyone's pretty even in the race still. I thought. Yeah, the only.
Dude, it's so split. Yeah,
you're literally 4 wins behind the top person.
All right,
and your worst week gets cut.
3 wins.
Nothing.
Sorry,
yeah, and your worst week gets cut. Nothing matters at this point. Who's the real Joe Shiesty?
I want to win the pick'em. This is tough, dude. I honestly just don't really like either of these teams.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's hard. It's a hard choice.
Someone needs some flex help. Hold on.
The Bengals are one of the worst teams that have ever happened to us, and then the Jets have Randy, so it's like a tough shout out to Randy.
I'm just waiting for Randy to watch the show again. I have been really wanting to cut a promo on that guy. I've just been pocketing it. And the thing is like the longer he waits to watch the show, the better it gets. I just keep adding to the chamber. So
you're just pretty much edging till Randy gets on, right? And you're just gonna
it's just a bigger explosion the longer you wait. Yeah.
The Bengals, but I could go either way on this one.
We got a question in the chat.
Yeah.
Okay, what's gonna do? For Monique?
Yeah, it's the Julio Jones gauge question. If Julio Jones is out, obviously no, and I think he is going to be. But if Julio Jones is playing, that is a absolute Julio over Gage in that situation. I think as the weeks go on, though, Devonta Smith is going. The Eagles are going to keep dialing him up more and more and more. So I would say if Julio's playing, Julio. If he's not, I would go Smith over Gage. If that's helpful. It's like when you watch the games, you can kind of tell when someone's getting involved, even if they don't end up having those numbers to show it afterwards. Like you'll watch a football game and you'll go, oh, I got to go pick this guy up on fantasy. Yeah, he didn't have a super good game, but I can tell they're going to target the shit out of him moving forward. So that's kind of how I feel about Smith. But yeah, I took the Bengals in this game, and this was not a very hard pick for me.
Yeah,
I know that. I know Joe Flacco could have 2 games in a row.
Making drama.
I know Joe Flacco could have 2 games in a row, and I think Garrett Wilson's the best rookie receiver I've ever seen. And yes, I watched Jamar Chase last year, and I think, but I think Garrett Wilson's better. That's all I got to say about that. Also,
that's all I got to say about that.
That's
all I got to say about that. I said it already, man. He had 1 good game, and I'm already saying he's the best rookie receiver I've ever seen because I had faith in him before the year started.
That's true. You did.
I think I picked Lockett in. I think I'm playing Lockett.
I also cut him in a league. I also cut Garrett Wilson in a league because I'm a dumb fuck.
I want Henderson to be good, but he's just not doing that good.
I started Lockett as my flex.
Henderson's getting some run right now. That being said, Lazard is going to get you a touchdown more weeks than not, I think, this season. So I'm going with the guy who's going to have the higher upside on getting you a touchdown or two.
That's true. I'm comparing Lockett to. Well, actually, no, I won't be starting Lockett because as soon as my waiver goes through, I'll be starting Juju.
But yeah, Juju.
Maybe over Cooks instead, though. I don't know. I'll have to figure that out.
It's Lazard in that particular situation, Nick. He can get you a touchdown or two. The other guys probably not going to get you any.
Very nice. Fun. This is fun.
I like it.
This is fun. Oh, we're having fun here.
Next game's going to be a good game.
Next game fun. It is fun. This might be the game of the week, honestly. This is going to be
Well, Washington's going to fall behind, and then Carson Wentz is going to have to throw for 300-plus yards and get all of his receivers touchdowns. I'm stoked for this game for my fantasy teams because I got a lot of Washington players, but I'm also taking the Eagles because I know what's going to happen.
I'm taking the Eagles. They are Super Bowl quality in my humble opinion, and I'm taking them.
I think Patterson's going to have a good game against Seattle.
Oh, for the chat still?
Yeah.
Yeah, Patterson all the way. Josh Jacobs never.
Josh Jacobs just is that style of running back that you just don't like. That I'm starting to hone in on the running backs you just don't like. Zach,
I think he's a wrecking ball. I think he's great. He's a running back that I don't like for fantasy. He's not a running back I don't like in real life. I like Josh Jacobs in real life. He's a running back I don't like for fantasy, and I think Patterson's going to have himself a day. In this game, though, I could see this being very high scoring, 30-plus from each team. Mm-hmm. Similar to how all of Washington's and Philadelphia's games have been so far. But I think the Eagles are the much better team. I'm a believer in this team at this point. So they're one of those teams I will pick most weeks because they're not playing the Bills most weeks.
Yeah, but last week the Falcons were playing the Rams, and this week the Falcons are playing Seattle. I think he's going to have a better week.
Yeah, he scorched the Saints the week before,
which
is also pretty solid.
The Rams defense is just a better defense.
And they were behind the entire time, right? Yeah. Like they were down 28-3 at one point, which is a score we don't like to talk about. But you can't really run. You can't really stick to your running game plan in that particular situation.
Yeah.
Woof.
Y'all think I should start the
I picked Philly. I picked Philly.
Philly. Next. I'm not taking the Panthers probably anymore this season.
New Orleans.
Nope. They're dead to me.
We can move on.
Serious. Derek scorned, and I'm not taking you anymore, Baker Mayfield.
I actually don't even want to talk about this game. You guys can if you want to, but I don't want to talk about Baker Mayfield anymore. I feel like I've already said too much about him.
We don't need to down anymore.
And I fucking hate New Orleans, by the way. So that's
same.
No, that's saying I also don't like New Orleans.
But I will take them with full confidence.
Same. I didn't even have to think about that pick.
Chargers.
I'm taking the Chargers in this. However, I would be okay seeing Jacksonville do some stuff in this, at least, and being competitive. I'm not going to pick against. I'm going to pick against our team this week because it's the Chargers. So but I would be okay with seeing Jacksonville do good in this game. If not, win it. I mean,
have any of us picked Jacksonville once this year?
I have.
Okay.
Yeah, you did. Yeah,
I picked them in right? One loss. And then I didn't pick them in this week to win, which I wish I would have.
Right, because it just seems like the Colts are now forever doomed to lose to the Jags.
Yeah, that's some mental fucking anguish right there.
Honestly, I think the Chargers, even in the loss against the Chiefs, showed a lot of good things. I mean, in the first half of that game, I felt like they looked like the better team. Obviously, there's some stuff to work through with Herbert at the end of games. There's like that dog that Josh Allen and Mahomes seem to have at the end of games where they find a way to win. And we haven't really seen that from him yet. I'm looking for it. I'm looking for him to just lead the team to a victory at the end. We also didn't get it at the end of the year last year against the Raiders. So it's like we still need that Herbert's statement game. With a fractured rib, I don't know if we're going to get that, but I don't think we're going to need that this week. I think they're the better team on both sides of the ball, so I think they handily win this.
Yeah.
ETM that ass. If anyone.
Very nice. Rams, Cardinals. I went Rams. Super Bowl champs.
Real quick, though, on the last game, even if Herbert is out, because I know that it's like a 50-50 at this point, even if Herbert is out, I still think they're the better team.
Who's his backup?
Chase Daniels.
Sure.
They got enough around him. They'll figure it out.
Chase Daniels dyes his beard, right?
Oh, for sure.
Okay.
I'm going to check on that. I am going to check on that game because I am going to change my mind on it. If Justin Herbert
doesn't play,
Herbert is not playing, I am not going to go with the Chargers.
Oh yeah, I would switch in an instant.
100% switch because the Jaguars are the team.
I'll switch in an instant, but am I going to be drunk before the game starts?
Right.
Yes, you are.
See, that's an afternoon.
It's the afternoon game. You're gonna be.
No, Niners don't play till Niners play the night game, so I have to take it.
We should know that morning, though, right?
Yes, yeah. You'll know much before 1 o'clock.
Before the game. Okay, so I will. So you've all heard me say it. If I'll check on that in the morning. If Herbert's out, I'll take the Jaguars. Good old.
I'm going with the old beard dying Daniels.
Yeah, same. I'm taking the Chargers either way. But anyways, I also have the Rams in this game.
Rams.
I'm not sold on the Arizona Cardinals, even with the comeback last week. They're so it's a chaotic team in my opinion.
And if there was going to be a comeback win, it would be against the Raiders, right? That's just like Raiders have that. Raiders seem to have that happen to them a lot. So.
Yeah, and I don't take the week 1 loss from the Rams against the Bills too seriously. It's a week 1 game. I think they're going to just absolutely dominate those teams.
And it's the Bills, dude.
And it's the Bills who are going to beat everybody.
I picked the Rams. Fuck the Cardinals always.
I like your logic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Out of all the teams in the NFC West, I fucking hate the Cardinals the most, and then Seattle. Which it should be. If you would have asked me 3 or 4 years ago, I would have said Seattle, but right now it's the Cardinals.
Yeah, the Seahawks are very non-threatening at this point.
Yeah.
And King Gino.
Yeah, King Gino.
I still hate the Seahawks because we live in the Pacific Northwest and I hate their fans, but yeah.
Yeah.
Because I can hate them in person,
Mm-hmm. That makes it better.
It does make it makes it all the sweeter. Maybe that's why I don't hate Seattle as much as I hate some other teams.
Speaking of Seattle,
in person.
Speaking of Seattle.
Speaking of Seattle, I believe it's this week's toilet bowl.
I am. Yeah. Oh. Okay. I want everyone to know I'm only taking Seattle because it's at home.
Okay. What are you doing, Zach?
I'm taking the better team, so I'm taking Atlanta.
Jaden, we are from the Pacific Northwest.
That's all you need to know.
Inland
Washington and Idaho.
Washington and Idaho.
Northern Idaho.
Yeah. The good no, it doesn't matter. It's all shitty.
I took the Falcons. I believe they're actually favored in this game, which I was kind of surprised to see. No, they're not. It's now -1 Seattle. But a -1 to the home team basically tells me that people believe that they're not the better team. I think the King Gino week 1 ride was fun, and now everyone comes back down to earth. I also think that Atlanta's played 2 very, very close games. Like the Rams game was an awesome comeback, and would have probably lifted some sort of curse. Them coming back from 28-3 would have been some sort of curse lifting event. I also think that they were up the entire time against the Saints until that field goal at the end. So
start your drive up there. Go watch this team. Go watch this game.
Yeah, go get it. Go get it. Oh wait, Pitts or Everett? I'm done with Kyle Pitts, by the way.
Love Idaho. Great potatoes. Thanks, Monique. We also love.
We're the fucking gem state. God damn it!
Hey guys, also we don't get any of our potatoes. You guys know that?
Yeah, I did know that.
So we just get the Snickle Fritz.
I love that word. Yeah, dude. Everett looks like kind of
Okay, here's a better answer to that. If Herbert plays, him and Everett seem to have like a nice little connection.
Mm-hmm.
If Herbert doesn't play Pitts, because they haven't really done it yet, but they do really like to roll out Mariota, and he's looking for Pitts first every single time when they're bootlegging. So something to keep in mind. You're gonna get a couple gems from me today, even though there's Coors Light in my system.
Is that your third? Is that your third?
It is what it is. All right.
You're making me excited to get to lunch. I'm gonna have a shot. I'm gonna have a IPA, dude. I'm gonna get weird.
It is the number that it's at, so that's something to think about. And let's move on with our day.
I took the Packers in this next game because I think I was crazy when I did it. But I'm gonna stick with them. I don't like the Buccaneers. I know they're 2-0, but it's Tom's man. I don't know. I've had Tom Brady for these last 2 wins on fantasy, and it's falling apart.
Yeah, winning what, dude? Come on, dude.
He won. He had 9 points last week, and before that, it was also not great. It was like 14, maybe. It's bad, and the defense is keeping them in it, but it's gonna fall apart. I think. I'm not going with the Buccaneers on this one. I'll probably be wrong, and it's fine. But
I don't know if I think this is a toss-up game.
It's probably 2 of the 3 best defenses in the league. Which is awesome. Not exciting as a viewer to sign up for that, but I think I think Aaron Rodgers has like a little bit of a. I don't know what it is, but like when he plays Tom Brady, I just don't ever feel confident. It's almost like there's something there. Like I feel like Tom Brady always gets the best of him, right? The battle of the 12s.
Yeah. I want to be in a 2 quarterback league.
I got Tom and Hurts starting a 2 QB league. That sounds awesome. 2 QB league sounds.
It sounds fun. That sounds like a good time. High scoring leagues.
I think these are like equal defenses, and probably the Packers have the slightly better offense, right? Because it's just the way the Bucs are playing right now.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm still torn because the Bucs at home,
right?
And they're 2-0 for a reason. Like they can just beat you with their defense if they need to. And it also seems like Aaron Rodgers is kind of figuring stuff out still.
Yeah.
He's.
I think in my head, I just convinced myself that the Packers might win this game because I do think A.J. Dillon's going to have himself a day. By the way, if anyone's a A.J. Dillon guy, fantasy-wise, start him the next 2 weeks because he's going to have himself a day, and then he's going to have himself another day. You can always pick up little hints from Aaron Rodgers. By the way, if you watch Pat McAfee, Aaron Rodgers on during his weekly interview, you always pick up on little hints on what he wants to do more the next week. And you can tell it's just, let's get A.J. Dillon 15 touches and then 4 or 5 catches. And I think he's going to put up similar numbers to what he put up week 1. I've just fully convinced myself that the Packers are going to win this game, and I'm now switching to the Packers.
Wow. Okay. Sean, what are you doing, buddy?
Sean, you can go ahead and take the Bucs.
I picked Tampa Bay. I did. And I'll just leave it. We'll see.
All right. I think we got 2 more games left. Sunday night game. I'm going with
Niners.
The road. I'm going with EG. I don't believe in the Broncos. I don't believe in Russell.
Nobody does.
I think they definitely are having troubles figuring out. The Broncos are having trouble figuring out what they need to do.
It's interesting that they won last week and still no one feels good about it.
Yeah.
Oh, Broncos country, let's ride. Get the fuck out.
God.
I don't know who this Andrew fella is, but I don't know.
He must be a Seahawks fan because Seahawks fans will jump to any team.
No, he's a Peyton Manning fan. I think he's a Peyton Manning fan.
Who isn't? I do love the Manning cast still.
I think Andrew King is a Peyton Manning fan.
I think now that we have Jimmy Garoppolo behind the wheel in San Francisco, I think they're a Super Bowl caliber team.
I'm Omaha. I'm confused on. I don't know why. Why do you think this is such a close? Because this is like what people the people on the app are picking, right? The 59-41.
Yeah,
I think a lot of people are sold on this Broncos team, and I don't get it. I haven't got it since before the season started. I don't get.
So,
it.
I mean, game in Mile High. I mean, it's in Denver. It's not.
I still don't get it.
I mean, before week 1 started, I definitely was saying I think the Broncos will be good, but I guess not. And I don't think they'll win. I don't think
if they win this game, then people will still be saying that because I mean that would be a great win for them. But I don't think they're going to win this game.
Mm-hmm. I would really like them not to.
I agree. What do we got on here? My big money league roster is redacted. 2 QBs, 2 running backs, 2 receivers, 1 wide receiver, tight end. So you don't have to play a tight end. Is that what you're saying? Oh no, and then 1 tight end. Okay, and
then
1 flex. So basically, one of your flexes doesn't allow running backs. That's kind of what I get from that. That sounds like mayhem. 2 defenses and a kicker. That sounds like a crazy league.
Yeah, yeah. I have a hard enough time picking 1 defense for the week, so
yeah, even finding 2 that are going to get you points is pretty difficult.
Yeah. Like I literally just left the Browns in because I was like, I don't want to pick anyone else.
Yeah, I hate carrying multiple defenses. It's stressful. Let's see. This is the Monday Nighter. Anyone else think this is like, okay, yeah, it worked out now because the Giants are 2-0, but before the season starts, does anyone else think this is a weird Monday night game to book?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Because of who the Giants were before the season started. Yeah.
Yeah, like ESPN just released something yesterday that was like worst 2-0 teams in the history of football or something like that. And it's like, obviously you're doing this because the Giants are 2-0.
Well, I'm taking Danny Dimes in this game.
I'm taking Danny Dimes.
Do you guys want to know a secret?
But what did you say about Cooper Rush last week? And it was the funniest fucking thing. It was, what did I said I picked the Bengals defense against Cooper Rush, and you go, on paper that's good, but Cooper Rush ain't never heard of no paper. But Cooper Rush ain't never heard of no paper.
That's good.
Who said that?
You did.
Oh,
remember I was like, dude, I picked the Bengals defense.
Wow,
and you're like, you were like, I mean, it's really good on paper. And then the next message you were like, but Cooper Rush ain't never heard of no paper.
I love that.
Yeah, didn't know I said that. Sounds like me, but just don't remember it. So
I think I remember more.
I was tired, you know.
I think New York's got it in the bag.
The New York friggin' football Giants.
Do I start Zeke though? I don't know.
Do you? Yeah, because like the second Cooper Rush came into the football game, they were like, we got to run the football again. But
it just looked like Pollard was just, Pollard.
This seems like one of those games where everybody eats. Like that's the vibe I get. Or it's the most boring Monday Night Football game ever. But
this could just be a defensive game, you know.
Yeah, 14-10.
Okay, let me. Let me hit
13-10.
Let me hit you with some fantasy advice, guys. So I'm going to start Javonte Williams.
Smart.
Just because you got to play him.
Yep.
But so for my second running back spot, I have Breece Hall in right now. No. But I also have Henderson or Elliott.
Zeke?
Yeah.
You're considering playing Breece Hall over Zeke?
Yeah, I was.
Listen, Breece Hall is a little snowball right now.
Because
he's just starting the roll down the mountain. He's going to build.
It's not a PPR league, and Zeke's only gotten 4 points the last 2 weeks.
And Brees caught a touchdown last week, right?
Yeah.
I think, like I said, Brees is a little snowball. He's gonna get rolling, and it's gonna get bigger and bigger and bigger as the year goes on. But I think he's still a little snowball right now.
Who's better defense, Cincy or New York?
Probably Cincy.
This is it's hard life.
Well, okay. Who's better at stopping the run? Probably Cincy.
Yeah.
That is where that defense shines, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, that's it. That's all I had. That's all the questions I had for you today.
Who's quarterback for who's starting instead of Dak?
Cooper Rush.
He's a ginger. You'd like him.
Yeah. I mean, I already like him based on that alone.
That's exactly.
But I'm sticking with Giants on this.
Yeah, he is the prototype build for a quarterback, but then he's the ginger.
I love it.
So
he's what Andy Dalton should have been.
And Cooper Rush is probably one of the 3 coolest football names ever.
Yeah, that's a great name.
I think the only name that could be cooler is if there was like a defensive end and his name was like DJ Sacks. Like that would be a better football name. But that doesn't exist right now. So Cooper Rush is the guy.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a great name for a quarterback, but Kenny Pickett is still a very apropos name. His name's Pickett, and he's a.
Yeah. It also just has a good ring to it.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
DJ and Kamara for Najee and Pollard. Hold on, we got to answer this question before we get out of here.
Dang.
Wait, which 2 are yours? And are you saying you have DJ and Kamara and you want Najee and Pollard? I love Najee, but he does scare me a little bit being like the one-trick pony of that offense, right? Because as soon as they get into the red zone, it's like what they're going to do, and it's just give them the ball 3 times in a row. So I don't know. I think the floor is high for Najee, but I also think the ceiling is low. So you're going to get between 14 and 16 points from him. But if I have an RB1, I like to have a guy who might break out and get me 30 one week, which I think Kamara is a little bit better at. And that foot injury.
That's also true. Najee is sporting a little foot injury.
He didn't look like it was affecting him on Thursday night.
Looked good.
I was riding the Najee train hard on Thursday, though, because I have him in our league. And I was like, let's get after it. Wow. I love the dude. Like I said, I get worried at what his ceiling is, I guess. But as of right now, today, at this point in the season, it's early. I'm just gonna keep rambling. It's early, and sometimes you do stuff and you do things, and other things happen from time to time, and you gotta play somebody. And
I'm a teacher, but
and when you got a guy, you gotta play that guy, and sometimes
that on a hat,
and sometimes that guy is a person, and that's
sometimes he is also another person.
Are we still talking about Najee Harris?
No, I was gonna say though, I would rather have the guy with the high floor. Honestly, at least Najee's gonna get you double digits every week, and Kamara's probably not. So just do the trade. Don't listen to me. Just do the trade.
All right, everybody, have a great weekend. Go Warriors. Go Wildcats.
Go
Bowling Green.
Go Bowling Green.
Who they playing?
I don't remember.
I turn it off. That's good stuff. Eyes up,
Mississippi.
Thanks, Jaden. Tune in next week,
guys,
and we'll.
They're playing Mississippi.
Love your engagement.
Yeah, we appreciate y'all.
Stuff. Bye, miss you, mean it.
Bye,
love you.